Welcome back to PSB Real Deal in the Ville, Session 2. This is the Kyle Moore PSB Showcase slate of games. It's Kyle Moore PSB Showcase, and I've got the pleasure of Chris Hansen, PSB, joining me on the mic today as we bring you Cal Stars versus the Toledo Thunder squad. A lot of talent on the floor, Chris. Appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me. Took that 7 a.m. to be here. In from Chicago. Wouldn't miss this.
Not missing that layup there are the Stars as they even the score at 2 apiece. So in from the Windy City here in Lebanon, Tennessee, quite a city change. The Windy City to Middle Tennessee, but when it's good basketball, I guess it doesn't matter.
Hey, the rims are still 10 feet.
Exactly. So Chris, for those that might be under a basketball rock, don't know about some of the names to keep an eye on throughout this game, who are some of the headliners you can point out?
Well, Shalexis Aaron standing at midcourt right now. Seattle kid has family in LA. That's why she's able to play with Cal Stars. Elite 100 kid, real creative, can play multiple perimeter positions. You got 24 Ariel Johnson here, plays on St. Mary Stockton, ranked as one of the, basically they ran most of the entire season, the #1 team in the country, and then had a slip up there in the state state semifinals, but she can really play. Number 3, Tacey Whedon, a 2018 kid, one of the best shooters actually in the 2018 class on either coast. Oh, I thought she was going to pull for us right there.
4-2 ball game early on. Those are some of the Cal Star standouts on the Toledo Thunder side. One of the players that really leads their attack is Braylon Hampton Bay. Not in the starting lineup here. A lot of games being played in July, so that could be for rest purposes or Coach Keyshawn Johnson just shaking things up. The player that just missed that shot, Danny Lawson, she's a Purdue commit, has gotten more aggressive as PSB Real Deal has gone on. She's definitely a player to watch. And then last but not least, number 3, Mariah Copeland for Toledo Thunder, a sharpshooter.
Going to Toledo, yeah.
Yeah,
she can play.
Good shooter, man. So 4-2 ball game early on. Some pressure being applied by Toledo. Stars break it with no problem. It's a wide open look for Aaron. Too strong on the shot. Offensive board. It's going to result in a trip to the free throw line for Brianna Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders has been committed to Arizona State for over a year now. Real active on the boards. Like what you just saw there, you're going to get a lot of that with her. A lot of second effort plays. Strong kid, can play through contact.
Kicks that first free throw off the back of the rim. So still 4-2. Pressure being applied by the Stars now. Maddie Moyer, she has an affinity for the 3 ball as well. That one's off the front of the rim, though. Moyer gets that 3-point look to go. As you might be able to hear in the background, Coach Johnson wanting Moyer to stay aggressive.
Heat check, aisle 3.
As number 6, Chandrea Butler will check in for Toledo Thunder. Having it stay down, nice take by Ariel Johnson.
And Johnson's in attack mode. She's really hard to stop in both winter, high school season, and here in club ball.
Rebound going to be pulled out of there by Jasmine Floyd. Floyd in need of a lifeline. Coach Johnson tries to get a timeout. So a timeout on the floor. We'll step away for a quick second. We'll be back with more PSB, Real Deal in the Ville. Back out of the timeout. 7-4 is the score. Toledo Thunder with a 3-point advantage. That back tap is going to go out of bounds. Brianna Sanders tips it out. 4 subs in for the Stars. Number 2, Liana Tillman. Number 23, Akira DaCosta. Number 10, Najee Murray. And I believe number 13, L. Louis. Stars get another offensive rebound. Cashing in is Najee Murray.
She's a sleeper kid in the rising senior class. She hasn't played at all here in Nashville, only played limited in Oregon, and had a little tweaked her knee a little bit. So this is the first action she's had so far this month. See Akira DaCosta's athleticism there. Won a bronze medal with USA Basketball U17s over there in Spain. Our Kyle Moore was over there watching all the international action.
And gets the lay in there to put Cal Stars up by 1. Najee Murray trying to add to it, comes up with the steal. They'll lose it out of bounds, pass intended for Louis. So now in for the Thunder is the aforementioned Breland Hampton Bay, number 24. Like to play at the University of Michigan. Physical guard that can do a lot on both ends. Look forward to seeing how she matches up here against the Cal Stars.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching her when I was here on the 9th for Real Deal 1. Did a lot of good things. These are good matchups, though. You got BCS kids on both sides now.
Hey, Danny, you see Taylor wide open in the corner? Draw and kick. 1.
Lawson to Hampton Bay. Now here's Butler. She'll try the mid-range J. No good on the shot. Lawson says, give me that inside. DaCosta replies with a give me that of her own. Swatting that one out of play.
You're going to see before this game is over, the Cal Stars are going to run a backdoor lob play, throw it up high. Even if it's well defended, DaCosta's going to catch it around the rim and lay it in. I mean, her athleticism is just off the charts.
Heard a lot about DaCosta coming into this matchup as anybody has, but first time seeing her live. White attacking, kicks it to the corner. Hampton Bay can't get the three-pointer to go. That wasn't a set play, but they try to lob it up to DaCosta there, and Toledo Thunder able to provide a little bit of resistance there.
Got to work with DaCosta at Check Me Out NorCal back in the fall, and she made sure that her camp team knew how to throw that lob pass.
Offensive rebound and laid in by Najee Murray. The previous play on the other end, Chandria Butler had a nice little move and teardrop. We go back and forth in this one, 9-10. Under 2 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Hampton Bay has it stolen. And she'll get called for the foul. Back in for the Stars, number 21, Shalexis Aaron. Number 11, Nina Young. Number 1, Aaliyah Goodman. Number 32, Loretta Kakala. And number 33, Jordan Cruz. Kakala looking to go to work against Lawson. Lawson with the access denied. Here's Mariah White, a blur. Got up on the rim pretty quickly, left that layup short.
That's a foul. Come on.
Referees letting them play over the past couple possessions.
How is that not a foul? She got to push down.
Pace definitely picked up. The production, maybe not where each team wants it to be, but earning a trip to the free throw line here is Aaliyah Goodman.
Yeah, Leah just committed to Oregon State right before the start of July. Visited Washington, Arizona. Decided on the Beavers, Final Four team. It's a good fit for them. She fits their style of play. Can play all three perimeter positions, shoot the ball, run the point. She's been a good pickup for the Cal Stars this year.
At the line with a chance to give this game a score. Something it hasn't had in the past few minutes as both teams have picked up the pace. First free throw's good.
Single step.
And so is the second.
Pass the ball.
Austin Moyer. Tough shot there by Butler. Coach Johnson wanted to see more ball movement, quicker ball movement from his squad. Back-to-back scores for Aaliyah Goodman. Two subs in for the Stars, number 3 and number 24, Tacey Whedon and Ariel Johnson respectively.
So they bring in one shooter for another shooter. They bring Jordan Cruz out, who's committed to Utah, one of the best shooters in the senior class, and bring in one of the best shooters in the junior class in Whedon.
So no lack of options here for this Cal Star squad. For Toledo Thunder, seeing some different lineups than what we've seen over the past few days, but I'm sure coach is managing, legs and just a battle of attrition that takes place when you play as many games over this July live period. But
especially against the level of competition that both of these teams have played here in July, the first half of July. Stars had a little bit of travel drama coming out here to Nashville, coming from Oregon. They got stuck overnight on a connection in Denver, arrived at 3 a.m. and had an early game the next day.
man. So we go into the second quarter, get a look at that score by DaCosta earlier in the game, and also you mentioned Jay Murray. He's been bothered by some minor injuries. Good spring in the step there as she finishes. We'll be right back with the second quarter. Second quarter underway here at PSB Real Deal in DeVille, Wilson Central High School, where we'll play all of the Kyle-Moore PSB Showcase games scheduled for the broadcast slate today. It's a 5-point lead for the Cal Stars. While both of these teams have some depth, coaches know their personnel, I'm looking forward to the point in the game where we get to the let's win this one lineups.
I feel like, this thing lingers on too much longer. Second half, you're going to have a a halftime speech to get these guys fired up to make a difference. You hear Coach Sopak between plays working the officials, so you know he wants to win this.
Breland Hampton Bay will check back into the game. So she's joined on the floor by Nadia Dumas, number 33, Danny Lawson, number 11, Maddie Moyer, number 5, and Mariah Copeland, who has yet to get going from three-point land so far here in the contest, but can turn it on.
I'd like to see Lawson get going in. Without Kakala, the only kid that the Stars have that's her size on their bench. With her not on the floor, I'd like to see Lawson really get going. It's going to be a key for them.
Tipped out, and he'll create another opportunity for the Stars. Aaron going to get it over to Wheaton. Long rebound now. Here's Maddie Moyer. Aaron going to give chase, but Moyer gets the bucket and one. Maddie Moyer talked about how she's a shooter, but I was impressed in a game yesterday where even though they lost it, it was one of those back-and-forth games that kept pulling to within, the low double digits, and the team just couldn't close the gap. But Moyer was able to make a lot of blue-collar plays aside from just that shooting ability in that contest. She plays hard.
Well, she just outran a 6'1" kid that has some speed, so you don't get that without effort. Drawing the foul, still finishing, big play.
And the game I'm referring to was a game against Best Choice United National. Anaya Peoples and
Caitlin Gilbert, yeah.
Full hands. Not to mention you had Allie Rife and Sydney Tucker knocking down threes. That was a team effort in addition to those two headliners that you just mentioned. Najee Murray running the floor and getting the layup to make it 16 apiece. Moyer off the mark on the triple. Number 21, Jasmine Bishop, will come in for Danny Lawson.
OC! Watch the back door. Watch the back door.
Copeland trying to crank up the defense, but Hampton Bay lost sight of Najee Murray. Like for the buckets that Murray has scored, hasn't had to overdo it. It's just been just good basic basketball.
She's a smart kid. I had the pleasure of working with her in the camp setting. Talked to that kid at different tournaments. She's a gym rat, studies the game, knows what good basketball is. Somebody's going to get a good one in that class.
That three-pointer knocked down by Copeland. Her ears must have been burning. She gets her first three-pointer of the contest. Acosta with a nice feed and the layup by Liana Tillman.
Everyone's impressed by DaCosta's athleticism, but she just has a good feel for the game. She just knows how to make plays in tight spaces.
Moyer, that one was online, but just short. Copeland going to get the offensive rebound.
They don't want to give her too many more looks. You hear Coach yelling at her every time she gets a touch. Your job is to get shots up.
She steps in, knocks down the mid-range, 21-20. Three-pointer if it goes, kicks off the back of the rim. You got to minimize these offensive rebounds if you're Toledo Thunder. I know it's easier said than done, but the more opportunities the Stars get to score, the more likely they are to cash in on them.
Yeah, they don't have a bunch of 6'5s or anything, but they do have a lot of length. It makes it difficult. You got to have, 3, 4 real box outs on every possession.
So at the free throw line here is Goodman. Knocks down the first, and we talked about Murray. You see here, they're on the replay. It's a simple cut, catches the defense sleeping. That's a layup drill.
Let's go.
21-22. Active hands. An easy layup. Not as easy as she made it look. She had two defenders in pursuit, but Goodman still able to finish it.
I mean, if you've watched the flow of this game so far, Goodman's been the difference. Free throws, simple plays, ball reversals, that tip out and score right there. Not super flashy, but always productive.
3-point game now. Hampton Bay trying to tie up. Selects Aaron. Aaron weaving out of trouble. Floater up. Lawson with the rebound. Lawson showing off some versatility. Got it across the timeline. I was just going to say, go ahead and find a guard. And she does so. But a risky pass is going to be broken up by Nina Young. And she will go to the line. Coach Johnson wants a timeout. I'm going to say he's not going to have the gentlest of tones there in said timeout.
There's something about playing the Stars. Their program runs a lot of similar stuff across all age groups. My niece, 7th grader, played their 8th grade team in Oregon at the end of June. You see a lot of the same presses. They just are relentless in the amount of pressure they keep putting on you. Even when they drop back in half court, they're going to trap. They're going to force you into some mistakes. So if you don't stay focused and you start getting tired, that's when they sneak up and start getting runouts and easy baskets. You look up at the scoreboard and it was a game, and then you're down double digits.
Yep.
Got to be a careful time for them right now.
2-part burden on behalf of the Thunder. Got to get it across the timeline, and when you do, got to be able to take care of the ball and spread it out enough to find your shooters like they do here with the skip pass over to Copeland, who knocked down the triple a couple minutes ago.
And with no shot clock here, there's just no reason after you break pressure to be in a hurry, especially when you have kids that can make open shots like that. Be interesting to see if Lawson tries to stretch Takala out since she's playing under the basket. See if we can force her to close out. And you know, she's already hit a couple of long, or at least one long jumper today. We know she can knock those down from previous viewings.
Hampton Bay with it, splits through the defense, ahead to Moyer. Good contest by Kakala. Offensive rebound by Lawson. Now here's Mariah White. Coach Keyshawn Johnson, like what his squad did there, you got to be able to get good shots on goal. Even if you miss them, you allow players like a Mariah White, who's shown her ability to rebound the ball on the offensive glass. You give them an opportunity to play with you.
You answer aggressive defense with aggressive offense.
So a 2-point game. Rare turnover there for the Stars and the Thunder. If you're Coach Johnson, it's sort of bittersweet because you feel like your team has made things harder than it has to be, even though you give the Stars credit. But with all that being said, you're only down 2 points.
One bucket.
Defense by Copeland. Lawson with the rebound. Now here's White. White's got Copeland running with her. Says she'll kick it to Moyer. Just pick a shooter. She picked Moyer. Moyer can't get it to go.
You got to give Coach Johnson a little bit of credit, too, for that timely timeout. He saw 2 turnovers back-to-back, settled his troops down, got him right back in it.
Two minutes, 41 seconds remaining here in the first half. Three-pointer knocked down from the corner. Murray getting it done in a variety of ways.
Yeah, if you've ever seen a St. Mary Stockton High School game, there's 2 shots that are permissible, 3s and layups. That's just how they play. So that shot is as good as a layup for her because that's a shot she gets a lot in December, January, throughout the year.
Thought we had a new age move there. That was.
She pulled that one off. We might have had to go right to Instagram with it.
Oh yeah. You see Murray knock down that triple just a moment ago. Copeland inside to White. White, that's a tough spot to be in. Tries to fall away Jay. Here, Coach Johnson tell her not to fade. When you see White's ability to get up off the floor, you can understand the rationale there. You know, she had 2 defenders. They weren't going to be able to jump with her. Butler defending Goodman. Goodman just a cool customer despite the pressure.
Cool customer, that's probably the best description for Aaliyah, just always under control. She plays high school with Pacey Wheaton, who's on the bench right now, so it'll be interesting to see if they put them on the floor together and capture any of that chemistry.
As the free throw line has been a place she's been able to get to with some regularity here in this contest. Gets the first one. Second one Silky as well. That'll push the lead to 7. They say over and back. Let's see what you guys think.
Oh, clearly, yeah. 2 feet over the gray line. She went over and back before she even passed it.
Yeah. Long rebound. Here's Butler. Butler weaving through red jerseys, but had another one waiting there in Louis.
This is that dangerous time we talked about a few minutes ago where if you don't get things under control, you're going to find yourself down 12, 15 points when you were just at a 2-point game with, what was it, about 3 minutes to go. We were sitting there at a 1-possession game.
Thunder, you're trying to get your physical performance where your mind is, but you got to be looking at last night's game with best choice where they got behind early, got down as much as 20, and they had solid runs where they were able to stop them and try to make something happen, but the lowest they could get it to was 15, 13 points. They had to put so much energy into making sure the lead didn't balloon that it was hard to really close the gap. You definitely want to avoid that here. Neither one of these teams is squads you really want to be chasing a bunch of points to.
No, not at all. Going 1-3-1 press here. See if they're going to send a trap. Here it comes.
Lawson a step back 3. You like Lawson wanting to make something happen for a squad, but you got to be able to do it in a way that suits your game. Setting up on the block and calling for it with some intensity, that's one thing. Coach Johnson doesn't want to see his center shoot too many step-back jumpers, though.
Especially, again, we're pointing out the matchups on the floor. Kakala is on the bench. Her advantage is going to be in the paint. Even if she can shoot it, her advantage right now is going to make somebody like Akira, who can jump, but is giving up some size to her, make her defend her.
Yep. Nine-point game. One goes off the hand of Tacey. Turnover off of Wheaton would be good for the Thunder if they can end the first half on a scoring note.
Big bucket, big bucket.
It's Jasmine Floyd knocking down the jumper along the baseline, pulling them to within 7. Picasso has that shot blocked by Lawson. $10.5 to work with for the Stars. Now Lawson gonna have to defend on the perimeter. Over and back, so they'll have 9/10 of a second.
I thought we were going to see DaCosta get downhill there when she started dancing with the ball. I thought it was go time, especially given the matchup.
Good if it goes. Too strong on the shot. Appreciate you joining us here on SUV TV. We'll be back with more PSB Real Deal in the Ville after halftime. Marcus Burnett, I'm joined by the man with the plan, Brandon Clay, here for some second half coverage. The Cal Stars take a 7-point advantage here into the second half. Third quarter is started. Brandon, your thoughts on this matchup? The Thunder within 7, even though they haven't played to what Keyshawn Johnson has hoped for in terms of the bar.
It's been great, man. I think you start talking about competition, and even on the last day of the first half, you know, Kelly Sopak obviously getting his team ready for the second half gauntlet. And then Keyshawn Johnson getting his team ready for the second half gauntlet. So you got two teams out here competing, knowing they're going to get a 10-day break here and then get right back to it in the second session.
We'll have a blocking foul there going to go against Ariel Johnson. Breland Hampton Bay hasn't been herself so far in this game, but you talked about the second half of the gauntlet. The first half has taken its toll. A lot of games against quality bumps, so she can miss the turnover there.
Great play there by Young to slide right in, take that thing away. Kids have still got another summer to go here with the Cal Stars program.
Ball's loose. Moyer goes to the deck to get it. Mentioned the blue-collar plays Moyer has been able to make. This time it creates an opportunity for Copeland to knock down another three.
That's a big-time shot. Already committed to Toledo. They're on hand watching. clean, too. Great play. You talked about Moyer's hustle resulting in a second chance opportunity there for Toledo.
You know, when Copeland's three-point shooting nearly helped them, and you see that curl around and lay-in by Tacey Whedon, almost allowed them to pull off the comeback versus best choice yesterday if it wasn't for Allie Rife and Sydney Tucker with a three-party of their own there for best choice.
Yeah, nah, Copeland has been good this week, and Moyer, as you see her line up another one, knocked down. She gets a clean look. That thing's going in. And talk about Whedon for a minute. I had a chance to watch her in December at a high school event with Chris Hansen on hand and really enjoyed her play overall. Obviously a kid that can make a shot, but you see the curl there off of the screen, the catch, and then the finish. So more than just the kid that can make an open three, the kid that can finish it around the bucket as well.
It's 31-36. The Thunder within 5. Lawson gets it across the timeline. Aggressive take, a power dribble, goes towards Alexis Aaron and is able to lay it in.
Boy, she's really played hard. Lawson, that is, here over the past 4 days, really taking her game to another level.
Active hands. And we're going to have a foul on the play. We talked about Danny Lawson and some of her play over the past few days. As we take a look, saw her take a step back three a couple moments ago. Coach Johnson says that's not your game. This is.
Without question. She's a power player around the rim. With a frame that reminds me, honestly, of Jasmine Hassel, who played at Georgia some years back. Strong, the size to make things happen. Great matchup here with her and then Calcala.
Calcala answers back and makes it a 5-point contest. Moyer back to Hampton Bay. Bay gonna drive, pass inside to Dumas.
That's what you want.
And one.
Yeah, that's what you want if you're Coach Keyshawn Johnson. Both these guys, with Coach Kelly Sopak and then Keyshawn Johnson, do such a great job in the half court with their sets and their teams. You see, it's a great example. Reads the defender, Calcala comes over, commits her body, which gives Dumas an opportunity to catch the basketball and finish with the M1.
Pulls the Thunder to within 3. Moyer called for the push in the back there. Kick to the corner. Murray, only one three-point attempt in the first half. She knocked it down. Can't get that one to go.
That was a great pass there from Cruz on the baseline.
Dumas gets a hand on that one last. They're off the Copeland stop and pop, so it will go back over to the Stars. We approach the 5-minute mark, 3-point contest.
Goodman, you guys talked about it in the first half. Obviously a teammate of Whedon's during the high school season. But really like her length, ability to handle the basketball, can distribute it, can make shots. Really a versatile kid at the position. Oregon State's getting themselves to go when you look at what they've been able to build there in Corvallis. And she's another piece to what is already a really, really good program up there.
First free throw good by Calcala. Five-point contest. Hampton Bay over to Lawson. Lawson out to Copeland. Quick shot there, Hampton Bay with the offensive rebound. 2 for $1 sale on threes. That one can't go. Lawson with the offensive rebound.
Ooh, wait, look at the football. I'm telling you, what a matchup between those two on July 12th. I love it, the competitive battle, the coaches are battle. This is exactly what you want on the last day of the first eval period.
Hey, I'm liking it because both of these coaches and their teams are going to play hard, but when it first started, they were doing some different lineups. They didn't all both start their starters, and this thing is slowly but surely warmed up as the game is going on. I love it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You know, you get the competitive juices flowing, and I think everybody's done a really good job of trying to allow some other kids to get some playing time here in this game, this showcase game. But this is what we want. You know, this type of score, this type of atmosphere. Because you get to see players make plays. Who's going to respond? Who's going to step up and take their game to another level? What does that look like? Those are the types of things that you're seeing here right now.
We talked about it in the broadcast in the first half, how it would only take a matter of time before we saw the I got to win this game lineups out there by both coaches. We made it to that point. Coach Kelly Sopak on one end, Keyshawn Johnson, who always does a great job with this Toledo Thunder squad, on the other.
Well, and it's great the dynamic Coach Johnson a minute ago was saying, you know, we're having to play through everything. They're not having to play through anything. And now, you know, a couple fouls later, Coach Sopak responds, hey, you're getting some calls now, man. Everything's even. We're good to go. So it's nice to see the friendly competitiveness from the players, from the coaches, everybody out here working, trying to make positive things happen.
Shot won't go there for Mariah White. Good look for her.
I like that take there from White. Good feet. It looked a lot like the shot that Lawson took, just didn't go in for him.
That one goes in for Aaliyah Goodman.
Well, and that's what I meant a second ago when I talked about Goodman's versatility as a player. You know, she's the kid that can shoot the basketball, stretch your floor, make your player honest defensively. The Aaron outlet pass there from Calcala.
Pass intended for Murray, a little too tall for her. It'll go out of play. Fresh 5 sub in for the Stars. Alexis Aaron, Liana Tillman, Brianna Saunders, Nina Young, and Akira DaCosta. Last but definitely not least.
Definitely not least, man.
White defending, ties it up. Good defense there by Mariah White.
Yeah, sure was. That's exactly how you have to play that. Got hands on it. Well, you hear Coach Sopak yelling out, seeing the on-ball screen, trying to implore his team to make Toledo Thunder work.
Moyer, she hasn't taken a three-pointer in a while. A much better shooter than that last shot might indicate. Alexis Aaron running the floor with the layup.
That's tough. You let those kids get out in transition on a play like Aaron, that's going to go in more times than it doesn't. Oh, what a great take there. Right into her body.
Finished by White.
I'm telling you, you can't, July 12th, you can't script a much better 2.5 quarters than what we've got in terms of the competition level, play in and play out. You know, you worry about that a little bit. You know, kids play a lot of basketball. You know, it's not 30 games in 7 days, but it's enough. You know, you're going to feel it, maybe be a little sore. And for them to be out here competing the way that they're competing on both sides, all 5 kids at any given moment, it's good stuff.
6-point contest after that 3-point play the hard way by Mariah White. Anna Tillman directing traffic out there. Now over to Aaron.
I like Tillman. Ball handler, slender frame, but gives them a good change of pace at the position there at the point when they take Goodman out. What a great pass.
There's communication there on D. Results in another easy lay-in for Alexis Aaron.
Great pass there off the top from Sanders to find her. Oh, nice little cross. That was a good move, little crossover there, change of direction.
Good ball movement by Toledo Thunder. Good recovery by the Stars. That one's blocked by Tillman. A lot of air under that pass, but Nina Young comes down with it. Alexis Aaron fouled by White. Take a look at the play a couple minutes ago. Alexis Aaron, they got the stop. Costa with the nice pass ahead. Aaron catches it in the pocket for the easy leg.
That's tough with the defender flying by, the little double clutch. Great finish there. Chance for a couple more here at the line.
Lead now 10.
Oh, great take, everything but the finish. And it seems like, honestly, that's been the reoccurring theme here for the Thunder over the past 2.5 minutes. Good takes, good clean looks. You know, Copeland hit a couple, Lawson hit one. Now kind of going through a dry spell where they're struggling to score the basketball.
They've kept the gap manageable for the majority of this game.
Back door. Watch the back door.
10 has been the largest lead. Was that the Godsham?
It was the Godsham God. Shouts to Providence in like 97 on that one. That's crazy right there.
But at the end of the day, the Thunder able to keep them from scoring there on that play. So still playing hard on the defensive end, just trying to sandwich it with a few buckets here and there. Which hasn't been easy.
Good defense. Lawson says, nah, you're not going to get me with that.
Yeah.
Work on and develop DeCosta, that is, here going forward.
Goodman out to Murray, back to Goodman. That pass thrown behind Lawson.
Hey, good job there by the Stars. Able to pick up full court, force the turnover there by speeding the game up on them.
Seven and 1/10 of a second to work with. They might not get a shot off.
The execution. Oh, that went. Oh! Not exactly how Kelly Sopak drew it up, but it worked. Unfortunately, about a half second too late there on the Goodman shot
So
at the buzzer.
Shot won't count, but for visual purposes, we'll show it
Yeah, we got to
anyway.
see that one again. Look at this. Shoulders get square somewhere along the way. But no good.
So we will have fourth quarter action. It's a 10-point game. We'll see how the Thunder respond. Fourth quarter action underway. We've got talent all around, on the floor, on the sidelines, coaching, and in the broadcast booth. I've had a steady rotation as well. Started off with Chris Hansen, moved on to Brandon Clay, and now I got my guy John Hemingway joining me for the fourth quarter. Cal Stars versus the Thunder. Lawson gets the steal, and a blocking foul going to go against Casey Whedon.
Glad to join you, Marcus, as always. Another outstanding PSB event here at Wilson Central High School, and we've got the Showcase Division here today. The ability for teams, outside the EYBL circuit to come in here, be able to match up head-to-head, see where they're at, on the big stage, and that's exactly what Coach Johnson and the Thunder are able to do here today.
Scoring an and one there is Brianna Sanders. Sanders gets the front end. Now she'll head to the free throw line. 12-point contest here. It would behoove the Thunder to make sure this thing doesn't make it into the teens. Don't want to give yourself too much of an uphill battle, especially not in the latter part of this first live period. After the legs have already ran up some miles coming into this one. Free throw makes it a 13-point game.
Thought the Thunder have done a good job of battling, in this game. Obviously, the Stars are rotating through, a lot of players, 5 in, 5 out, so to speak. But through it all, the Thunder have played them possession for possession. I've really been impressed once again with number 41, Mariah White. She gets that lay-in there. Her energy is a big reason why the Thunder have made it as close as it is.
Agreed. Bishop thought about 3. Now she'll get it to White. White in attack mode, and she's fouled on the play. Foul going to go against Nina Young.
White's one of those kids, it almost sounds cliche, by this time, but she doesn't really have a position. She's versatile. She can face up, but she gets a lot of production in around the bucket. We saw it earlier on the SUV broadcast, Marcus, with her pogo-like jumping ability. And kids like her, I'm just a big fan of her because she just produces. She puts points on the board, and it's not always really pretty, but she just gets it done.
This is the second free throw. They had a couple hands on it, but it was out of bounds and last touched by the Thunder, so it'll be Cal Stars ball here. 6 minutes, 23 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. You gave the Toledo Thunder credit for the battling that they've done throughout this game, and they've had at least a cluster of about 6 to 8 shots that were good looks that just wouldn't fall for them. Shots that aren't very easy to get against a team as good as the Cal Stars defensively.
No doubt, they've had their opportunities for sure, but I think the bigger picture here, for the Thunder is to show that you don't necessarily have to play, on a Nike team, to be a Division I player, to be ranked. Clearly the Stars, come off the bench with a lot of talent. But for Coach Johnson and his organization, they're proving that they can go toe-to-toe. They've got, a couple of Big Ten commits, as I'm sure you've already mentioned, and, Danny Lawson and Bree Hampton-Bay. So overall, just goes to show those young ladies that they go out there, they play their team ball, that they can compete with anybody on any given day. And look at this. I like the adjustment there by Coach Johnson, going into a little 2-3 run and jump, half-court trap. And Coach Sopak does such an excellent job with his X's and O's. Really got him, kind of rattled and didn't allow them to get into their half-court set. So I like that defensive adjustment there.
They got another good look for Copeland from 3. Can't knock it down, but Bishop has been attacking the offensive glass with each of her stints. She earns a trip to the free throw line. Knocks down the first free throw. And you're going to get a certain minimum amount of threes from Copeland. She's already knocked down a few here in this contest. She's going to give you 2 or 3 more over the course of the next few minutes. If you're the Thunder, you just want to be able to attack the offensive glass, but also find a way to do what they did on the last possession, and that's shake things up and get stops that will allow them to make things happen. Because when Copeland knocks down threes, it makes it that much easier to open things up for Maddie Moyer on the opposite side of the court. Both of them good shooters.
Look at White coming up with the interior steal, taking it coast to coast. And look at her running back in transition. Just plays so hard. She's playing with a renewed passion here today.
Yeah, if you plan on stopping her after that last steal,
no way.
It was going to take a serious foul. If we take a look at it, she got it full speed, and this is slow-mo, but it almost looked closer to game speed.
She hit that hole like a running back, didn't she?
Hey, it was not for the faint of heart. Anybody that was looking to stop her there on that possession. It's now an 8-point contest. White to Copeland. Now to get it to Bishop. Bishop had to hang in the air for a second. Good defense without fouling by DaCosta. Coming up on the 5-minute mark. White guarding Goodman. Good defense by White. Tough call right there. Kind of looked like both arms are straight up. But
Not sure who they're going to call it. Did they call it on Bishop right there?
take a look at it.
Yeah, tough one
Yeah.
right there. I think Bishop might have taken a last-second step towards the ball and may not have been completely set, but I agree. When those hands are both straight up in the air, you like to give the defense the benefit of the doubt. But nevertheless, Cruz is able to draw the foul, and she makes the first of 2.
Yeah, it's a tough call to make in a travel ball gym. But moving on, free throws are knocked down. It's a 10-point contest under the 5-minute mark. Hampton Bay going to go at Tillman. That shot off the back of the rim, follow up. She misses. Dumas sticking with it and getting it in.
Dumas has had a solid weekend for the Thunder, doing exactly what you saw right there, second chance opportunities. But quickly back the other direction is El Louis with the lay-in. Chris Hansen, I know he was singing her praises in the first half. He was talking to me about Elle's game before the Stars took the court, and talking about her skill, and she's shown that she can put it on the floor and finish.
Picks up the foul there, trying to deny the entry pass to Dumas. Dumas, good work on the inside. She had the smaller Jordan Cruz on her. Not smaller by much, slightly. Was able to get position. Cruz called for the foul, so that'll send Dumas to the line. First free throw in and out. Maddie Moyer will get a breather. Jasmine Floyd checks back in. Blocking foul called along the baseline by Copeland, or on Copeland.
Y'all just got here.
It looked like pretty good defense.
I ain't the one. I ain't the one, family. I'm not the one.
Coming up on the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, whack ass niggas will smack the shit out of them too.
3 from the corner. Knocked down by Cruz. Lawson with the rebound, and she'll earn a trip to the strike. Three minutes, 18 seconds remaining in the contest. 11-point game. The Thunder trying to force some turnovers. Butler gets it across. Good move by Butler. Can't get the shot to go, but Butler definitely some wiggle in the game. Ball last touched by the Thunder. See the number there. Looks like, oh yeah, 24.
I think that was Ariel Johnson. Good cut, pivot, turnaround jumper in the lane. So much versatility from this Cal Stars team. I know that probably mentioned it before I got on the broadcast, but Coach Sopak does a great job, you know, with his half-court sets and getting kids into the right positions. And you know, that's really your job as a coach, is to make it easy on the players, give them, you know, put them in positions where they can make plays and not necessarily where they have to create plays. And that's a great example there on that baseline of out of bounds.
Yep. Coach Keyshawn Johnson on the other side has done a good job with his squad. You look at this Cal Stars team, the depth that they have, being able to sub in 5 for 5 and not really lose anything. And Thunder, they've had their substitutions as well. It's been a team effort, but you mentioned it earlier, the dynamic of just basketball being basketball. Some teams might be shoot teams or play on certain circuits, but when you tip that ball up, it's 5-on-5. All the dimensions are the same, so I like seeing programs like the Toledo Thunder, the West Virginia Thunder, Best Choice, you know, in addition to those great programs that are shoe sponsored. I'm gonna play on the shoe circuits. I just like seeing them all thrown into one big melting pot here at Peach State basketball events and let the best teams win.
Sure thing.
Bishop will check in for Lawson. Minute 55 remaining. Our next matchup is going to feature the Indy Lady Gym Rat Silver Squad taking on Lady Phoenix.
Good matchups all week long. On the other court, you've got the WPA Bruins playing Capital City Comets. And as you mentioned, the Indy Lady Gym Rats ready to take court versus Crossover Hoops.
Oh yeah, Crossover Hoops, that's my apologies. Lady Phoenix, they play later versus, I want to say, Central Florida Elite.
Sounds right.
Let me make sure.
Too many teams and too many games to keep track of. I wouldn't expect anybody to have it memorized by now.
Yeah, that's so Lady Phoenix plays Central Florida Elite. It is Crossover Hoops Premier Junior. Their squad taking on Indy Gym Rat Silver, as Hemi said. So we approach the final minute of this one.
Great defense there by Aaron. Hedging hard on that ball screen and containing. But the Thunder do a good job of swinging that ball back to the weak side and finding the wide open Mariah Copeland to hit the three.
Copeland makes it an 11-point game. We got a minute left to play.
Get there, rotate. Double it. Oh, get there. Yep. This way first. Let's get first. Corner. That was a pretty good trap, bro. Yeah, that was a pretty good trap. What a 5 second play. Wasn't pretty good. For 5 seconds. What a 5 second play.
Murray at the line.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Triple, 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 Ryan, come on. Go.
Joining us here on SUV TV, more action coming up.